Good evening. Good evening. And welcome to Let's Talk to Sports. And this is myself and Brother Morris. And Brother Morris is having a nice cold one, thanks to a great Cowboy game.
Listen,
Many
listen,
many of you that don't know
listen.
that many of you don't know me and Dwayne both root for the Cowboys. So he's in a very good mood, as well as we're going to try to get through this show. Dwayne is
Here it
definitely
comes.
going to say some things about himself as he proceeds to show everybody and have a toast on everybody.
Listen,
Pay Morris no mind. This is what he does after a
here's,
big victory.
listen. You all know my motto by now. Never trust the field goal kicker ever until you see a 56-yarder go through the uprights. And you got a big frosted mug. It was a terrible pour. It was a terrible pour. It's okay. But all right, listen, I still got the other game in the background, so I got to flip this camera so we don't fall under FCC issues.
Yeah, we don't need any issues coming from YouTube in regard to copyright.
Well, hello, folks. It's me again. Do we start with the best game of the day or do we end with it?
Was it the best game of the day? That Tennessee game was real interesting.
Tennessee game was interesting.
Dwayne, let's start with our 1 o'clock games.
Let's get right into it. Yeah, we'll start with the 1 o'clocks. We're going to go in order. We're going to go in order as of ESPN scoreboard because I got that readily available. Man, it's so good to be 1-1 and not 0-2. All right. The Chicago Bears get a victory. Andy Dalton got hurt. Justin Herbert not Justin Herbert. I got Justin Herbert on the mind. He's a stud, folks. Excuse me. That man scared the life out of me. He's a stud. But Justin Fields came in. Not Herbert. Fields. And kind of choppy. A little up and down. He was 6 of 13, 60 yards and an interception. David Montgomery was huge in this game. Not a lot of yards, you would say, but 20 carries for 61 yards. Helped them control the ball. Defense played well. Not a good game by Joe Burrow at all. Only 207 yards. Sure, he had 2 touchdowns, but he had 3 interceptions, and he was sacked 4 times. So, Mixon 69 yards. Hey, it's a good win for the Bears.
I'm gonna say this about the Bears. I know that a lot of Bear fans have been crying for Fields, rightfully so. But I just want to use the quote that Coach Parcells said this week on his spot on one of the 11 networks that when you have a young quarterback, you have to make sure everything around him is perfect. So I just hope that, excuse me, I just hope that Chicago's coaching staff and players allow themselves to bring Justin Fields on slow. Try to don't expect too much and don't expect the kid to be able to just figure it out. Make the game plan real simple and go for it from there. Wish you luck, health. A lot of injuries. That's probably going to be something talked about once again.
We talked about it this morning.
And the injury bug is coming, so you got to have some depth at a lot of these positions. I'm quite sure you guys seen the injury bug hit a lot of teams today. So, great win for Chicago. Good win. You got to win these type of games. Moving right along. Next game is the Texans and the Browns.
Yes, the Browns got the win, like we said this morning that they needed. It was a close game, man. I mean, they won by 10, but Tyrod Taylor got hurt.
For the gambler guys, they didn't cover the spread. The spread was 13.
Tyrod Taylor got hurt, and he got hurt when he ran for a touchdown. Popped his hamstring. And then you had the rookie come in, the rookie from Stanford, Davis Mills, and not the greatest performance out of him, but you would expect that. He's a rookie. He wasn't expecting to play. But Tyrod was 10 of 11. Think about this. Before he got hurt, Tyrod Taylor was 10 of 11 for 125 and a throwing and rushing touchdown before he got hurt. His injury changed the course of this game. You know, Davis Mills came in 8 of 18 for 102 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Baker Mayfield, 19 of 21 for 213, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So yeah, only 2 incompletions, but it was chucking. It was just dink and dunk.
I expected a lot more from the Browns to open it up a little bit. Their defense, to me, hasn't really come along as expected. They got a very good, talented, player-wise defensive line. Secondary is decent. So going forward, I expect or want them to do better. Their defense. You got to know how to shut. When you get teams like this, middle of the road teams that don't have an identity, organizations in flux, you got to take them out. You got to just take them out. And we called that this game shouldn't be a struggle, and it was a struggle for them. So moving forward, Dwayne, Rams Colts. We both called the Rams.
Listen, man. Close game, man. But man, isn't it the story of Carson Wentz's career? The guy just can't stay healthy.
Another injury.
He just can't stay healthy, and this looked like a bad ankle injury.
But let me ask you a question, Dwayne. Wasn't he always hurt in college?
Always hurt in college. He's like Sean Lee. He's the offensive version of Sean Lee. A great player. But you can't be great when you're in the tub. If you're in the tub, you ain't helping your team. And this is big for the Eagles because they don't want them to play 60% this year. And that's an ankle. And ankles linger all season. And when you're a quarterback, you got to plan. He may be out for a little while. Ankles for a quarterback is not good.
We ain't going to talk about the rest of the game. But let's talk about the game we and you both picked a little wrong.
No, let's talk about it, man. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl in the preseason in the show that I did, another show that I did. Is Matthew Stafford really the man?
I think that it goes back to.
Is he that much better than Jared Goff?
Dwayne, I think it goes back to what we discussed before about that McVay factor. For some reason, this guy has gotten this halo around him from the NFL pundits that always talk about the league, where McVay can't do no wrong. And I just don't think the Rams, they're 2-0, and it's a bunch of 2-0 teams. And I think that they're not one of the better 2-0 teams. It may sound crazy. I have a couple of teams that I do think that are 2-0 that are a little scary right now. And, what the Titans is about to do to the Seahawks. Or did they do it already?
They're about to.
Okay.
It's that Derrick Henry, man, but we'll talk about that when we have time. So 27-24.
The next game.
Colts fall to 0-2, though. That's a lot of people have high hopes for the Colts. Now,
one of the things.
No, but this is what people got to realize. The Colts have a bad year. The Eagles get that draft pick potentially, man. If he
plays 60%, they get the pick, right?
60%, they get the pick.
So if he out for 7-8 weeks with a high ankle sprain.
Yeah. If he's out, it's a good point.
I think that Dwayne, I'm a big Chris Ballard fan, and one day I'm gonna ask you a question about Chris Ballard. Next week we do a preview. That'll be one of my questions about Chris Ballard. The game that me and you both picked wrong. It was a shellacking.
I'm a fool. Yes, folks, I act a fool sometimes.
We jumped out the window.
I'm an actual fool.
I was on the edge with you. I came out there with you. Look, Dwayne, I came out there with you.
Folks, he got hurt today, right? Tua's a bust. He's not a franchise quarterback, folks. He is not a franchise quarterback. they better do everything they could do in their power to go get Deshaun Watson. They better do everything they could do in their power. They are a quarterback away from being a real contender. Stephen Ross, he's strong-willed. He's a Michigan man. He's the owner of the Dolphins. He could take the hit of bringing Deshaun Watson in there. The Dolphins are not going to ascend to where I thought they would be with Tua at quarterback. Don't need to spend much time on this game. 35-0. They should have been embarrassed. To quote the legend, the big fella, the Bills looked like they were playing the JV. They damn sure wasn't playing the varsity.
I'm going to leave the commentary to Dwayne. I'm ready to move on when you're ready to move on because I am not happy with the Dolphins.
Patriots 25, Jets 6. Memo to Jet fans. You've given this guy the key to the city. You've given him the key to the car. You got to go through the growing pains of a rookie quarterback with a bad offensive line.
And I just want to say one thing. We know Mekhi Becton wasn't there. We know that Robert Sala's in his first head coaching experience. I just want to say one thing for everybody that said things about Zach Wilson. Relax, folks. Go look up the history of Bill Belichick going against young quarterbacks and then get back to me, and I'll bring you on the show if you feel like Zach Wilson looked at so bad against a Bill Belichick coach defense against a young coach, against a young quarterback. He destroys every young quarterback. Bill Belichick. Just look at his history. That's all I'll say. Okay? Zach Wilson will be all right. He's big, strong arm. The Jets has got to continue in their maturation process. 49ers Eagles, sir.
Hey, man, very interesting game, man.
Game a lot closer to I expected. I saw some posts where a lot of the 49er fans are upset, calling for Trey Lance. I'm going to tell them, like I told the Jets fans just now, relax a little bit. And the reason why I say that is the 49ers have good, solid players, but they don't have the breakout star at the skill position. They don't have the elusive running back. They don't have the tight end is very good, but he's not a breakaway tight end. He's an inline tight end. He's not a guy who you could put out there on the outside and destroy your whole game plan like Kelsey can. And Deebo Samuels is good, but he's not great. So slow down on saying it's Garoppolo. I'm telling you, if you know football, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Listen, I would agree with you, right? I have to say I would agree with you. Come on, man. What's going on my TV? My concern for the Eagles, no Brandon Graham, feared to be an Achilles, done for the season. Jalen Hurts at times looked good, but 12 of 23 for 190 yards.
Which brings me to a point
and he led them in rushing, 10 carries for 82 yards.
You could clearly see that the coach of the Eagles is an understudy of Frank Wright because he's doing exactly what Frank Wright did with Carson Wentz when they was in Philly, is that you're allowing the kid to play a lot of RPOs. I don't have a problem with RPOs with these athletic quarterbacks. What I do understand about RPOs is it stunts their maturation process with taking the ball from under center. And it's a one read. Anybody knows about RPOs. It's a one read. The end. All you're doing is reading the end. He crash, you run. He don't crash, you hand the ball off. And then off of that, you may get a slant receiver on the short side of the field. So I say that to say that just because a quarterback looks good in RPOs, that doesn't mean that he's a good quarterback and he can go through his progressions. But we're going to move right along today because Dwayne is happy, and we're going to talk about one of the games that made Dwayne very, very happy. Dwayne.
I'm just laughing at some of these pundits, like Brandon Tierney.
Big win for the Raiders today. Raiders-Steelers.
You're going to stop me. That's fine. Keep me on mission. But,
Raiders-Steelers.
Big win for the Raiders, man. Short day, short week.
Huge win.
Short week. You come across the country to Pittsburgh, come out with a 26-17 win. folks, he was a great quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. It's over for Ben Roethlisberger. Steelers got to find their next quarterback. He just can't. I mean, he threw for 295, but if he don't have a strong running game, come on, man, Jerome Bettis, Willie Parker, guys like that, they had strong running game. It was never about Big Ben. I'm sorry, folks. It was about defense, ball control, and winning.
And the way that the offenses are in the NFL, throwing for 300 yards is like nothing now. So
nothing.
You got to put up the 5 touchdowns in the 450 or the 375.
Hey,
Moving
man,
right along, man. We're not even going to play
start-
tonight.
Can we start giving Derrick Carr a little bit more credit? Just a little bit.
Derrick Carr.
Keyshawn Johnson said he was elite this week, and everybody went at him. All I know
Derrick
is the
Carr-
Raiders are 2-0.
Derrick Carr is playing MVP type football, and I'm not. I know it sounds crazy, but he's playing like an MVP.
26 Panthers, 7 Saints. Jameis Winston came back to earth today. 11-22 for 111, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks today. He got beat up. And they couldn't run the ball. Alvin Kamara had 8 carries for 5 yards. This may be the worst NFL game he ever had. He had four receptions for 25 yards, 8 carries for 5 yards. The Panthers, Matt Rule. Hey, man, this is Matt Rule football, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, he's special. I wish he was coaching that team in Dallas. Sam Darnold, 26-38, 305, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Christian McCaffrey, man, 24 carries, 72 yards, 5 catches, 65 yards. You gotta show me many better than Christian McCaffrey, man. You gotta show him to me.
I will say nothing else. I will say nothing bad about Christian McCaffrey. I'll just say about this game, I'm not surprised that Carolina won.
The Broncos with Teddy B moved to 2-0 with a win over the Jaguars. We predicted that. 23-13 over the Jaguars. Again, same thing I said with Zach Wilson. It's the same thing I'll say for T. Law. Did not look pretty for him today. 14 of 33 for 118 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So right now, if you're looking at it early, and I was very critical of this young man, but Mac Jones may be the best rookie quarterback. Hate to say it, because I just don't. But early returns, he just may be. You know?
Dwayne, what was Teddy's numbers?
I do not believe Teddy's numbers was 26 of 34 for 328 and 2 touchdowns. Just don't turn the ball over. Play solid offense. Let your defense win games for you. He doesn't turn the ball over. I know it's early. I know it's only 2 weeks. I don't think Urban Meyer is made for the NFL.
Allegedly.
He going to talk about his health. Allegedly what? He is Urban Meyer. He is and always will be Urban Meyer. And I guarantee you he begged for that USC job. He's going to pull a Bobby Petrino. How Bobby Petrino left the Falcons in a terrible way, I think Urban Meyer is going to do the same. Hey, man. Poor Mike Zimmer, man. You know I love Zim. 34-33 lost today. And they moved to 0-2. The Cardinals are 2-0.
I'll just say simply, this game is about the quarterback. Who has the better quarterback? And right now, Kyler Murray's zoning. I'm surprised the Cardinals defense that me and you like gave up so many points. But then look how many points Zimmer's defense, who we love the coach, gave up. So
hey,
no surprise there.
Let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a serious question. How many years are the Vikings going to lose games by field goals?
They've been doing it. They've been literally losing games by field goals since we've been watching them.
They missed a late winning attempt at a field goal, and it was only 37 yards. Greg DeLay kicked one from 50.
Can you say it, Dwayne?
Never
What's your favorite phrase?
trust the field goal kicker ever until you see it go through the upright for 56 yards.
On to the 4 o'clock game.
Okay? The Falcons were game, man.
The best team in the NFL.
I thought it was going to be a blowout.
The best team in the NFL.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, slow down.
Best team in the NFL. I'll just say this is that I don't think Tampa Bay is better than last year when they won the Super Bowl. I'll just say that they're more prepared than last year. Getting Brady ready for last year, and they going through their bumps and bruises. But I'm telling you, folks, if you have a weakness on defense, the Buccaneers are going to work it like a rib. So the best offense in football I've seen so far. They just unstoppable. Brady's just at 44 years old and he's on his game right now. I mean, it's going to be interesting who can stop that.
Hey, man, Titans go into Seattle. Now, this morning I said they wouldn't win. The 12th man would have the effect on them. They fought. They got this game to overtime. They came up with a defensive stop in overtime. Got the ball, went down, and scored. Okay? Tannehill, 27 of 40. Excuse me, I don't know what just happened with my TV. Tannehill, 27 of 40 for 347. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Russell Wilson, not a bad day. 22 of 31, 343, 2 touchdowns. Difference in this game? Derrick Henry, 35 carries, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns. He put him on his back. Julio Jones, was he motivated by some of the things that Mike Vrabel said? 6 catches, 128 yards today. So he had a day. And, Randy Bullock nailed the 36-yard field goal in Seattle. And Titans win 33-30 over Seattle. That's your fourth.
I'll just say that Tennessee got back to. They won this game because they didn't get scared when they was down, because they was down early, and they didn't just wing it all over the field. They gave it to the back and worried about their defense. I personally think that this is a big early season loss for Seattle because you have to win these home games. They're in the toughest division, and San Fran is 2-0, and I don't think San Fran has played their best football yet. And the Rams are 2-0, and they haven't played their best football. So this is a big loss, in my opinion, for Seattle. And a big win. I think Tennessee's season could have spiraled a little out of control with some things that I had noticed the first game. Moving right along.
Okay. We move on to the game. National TV, CBS, that team with the star in their helmet. Listen, I'm not going to gloat too much. I am not a Mike McCarthy fan. I'm not a Bone Fossil fan. But I'll tell you what I am a fan of. I don't mind a 23 or 27 for 238 from Dak Prescott. Okay, I don't mind that. No touchdowns, 1 interception. You know what I love? 13 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown from Tony Pollard. 16 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown from Ezekiel Elliott. Okay? That's what I love.
I think the
31 carries. I want people to. We couldn't run last week. We couldn't. Tampa Bay got something to do with that. Today, the Dallas Cowboys had 31 carries for 198 yards, 6.4 yards a clip. And the reason, as my esteemed host, I'm the co-host. He's the host. Don't ever get that twisted. He's the man that runs the show. He's the engine. Sometimes he lets me drive. Okay, that's all. He said it to you this morning. That's why we're the best show in the land, man. We're the best show in the land. He said it to you this morning. Chargers play 2 high safety. They run that shell defense. They want to stop the passing game, which you could gouge them in the running game. So, no, Dak Prescott wasn't hampered coming off his game last week. It's the defense that he faced. And here's to you, Julia. Welcome back. We appreciate your support. So, Kellen Moore, a couple of times he pitched, he made me upset. You know, the possession before the game-winning drive by Dak Prescott, which is his 16th career game-winning drive. He has that clutch gene, okay? But today wasn't a day for the Cowboys to throw the ball all over the yard. And let me tell y'all something. Give credit to Dan Quinn. Let me tell you something else. There is a player on the Dallas Cowboys. There's two players on the Dallas Cowboys that I have no damn use for. Number 30, Anthony Brown, and number 9, Jalen Smith. But let me say this about Jalen Smith. As much as I chastise this guy and say he's not this and that, he led the team in tackles today. So every time you look at the box score, he leads the team in tackles. Man, 9 tackles today, 6 solo. Leighton Vander Esch coming back into form. Hey, shout out to the young fella today. The young fella moved from linebacker, played middle linebacker last week against Tampa Bay. He was the middle linebacker. Today he played with his hand in the dirt and was a rush in and caused all types of hell. There was about 3 holding penalties on him that didn't get called. So shout out to Micah Parsons, Dan Quinn. Shout out to Javon Curse, who was all over the field. Shout out to KZ. Shout out to Malik Hooker. Cowboys got safeties, y'all. We got safeties. Bye, Donovan Wilson.
Dwayne just did the monologue on the game, and I'm quite sure me and Dwayne will be finished. We'll be talking about this game till Tuesday like we usually do because we nitpick when it comes to the Cowboys. I'm with Dwayne with Mike McCarthy needs to really get a hold of his game management or he will not have a job.
Come on, man. That last play before the field goal,
because his in-game management and clock management is atrocious. He managed this team he played this for his kicker to kick a 56-yard field goal. And I understand that Greg might have been making the kicks prior in the pregame, and it's an indoor stadium. However, you cannot coach conservative in the NFL.
He played to lose.
Dwayne, you got a question. I'm gonna put up in 1 second. All right, somebody ask you a question.
If somebody asked me if I want, if somebody asked him if I want SSA to kiss my ASS, the answer is yes, a resounding yes.
So
SAS
one of the things
ASS.
I personally want Bones Fossil fired. We've almost went 0-2 because of him. He's got to go.
Bones because he lost his father.
Bones is a good guy, but it's time for Bones to go. Bones just he plays too much. He's trying to get too, as they say, he's trying to get too cute. One thing I will say about this game in general, I'm going to say it. For the LA Chargers to hold the Cowboys to 20 points and the Cowboys to hold them to 17 points, these defenses today played incredible. Because this game almost got away from the Chargers if Dallas would have got that interception by Curse. And the Cowboys had a bend and break down defense. This is what the Dan Quinn defense likes to do. I'm like Dwayne, Micah Parsons. What could you say? The kid, I've never seen a player be able to play middle linebacker and rush end. And me and Dwayne talked about it prior, saying they were talking about how he was a can-do-it-all linebacker. I've just never seen nothing like it. I don't even know, like even going forward, what position is he? He's basically playing, as Dwayne always said, he's basically the elephant in the defense that we run. where he's not even accounted for because you will see him anywhere. I won't be surprised one game you might see him at safety. That's just the type of game he played. But
Man, hey,
Dwayne Julia
can I?
has a question for you.
We're always a threat, baby girl. Even when we're not a threat, we're a threat. But if our defense plays well, you may hear from us. You know, Dak Prescott told Tom Brady last week, "You'll see us again." I usually don't do this, man. Okay, but it's a tweet that just came across my Twitter timeline. It gave me goosebumps, man. And it's from number 28 of the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Malik Hooker. And his tweet a minute ago said, on the 25th, it will mark exactly a year I had Achilles surgery. And today I returned to the field of play and we won. Can't even express the feeling I got right now, knowing the shit I've been through. I'm going to keep getting better, and I'm going to cherish, enjoy every play I get. That's what it's all about, folks.
Well, the player that Dwayne is talking about is Malik Hooker. You guys that will watch the broadcast, Malik Hooker was one of the most highly rated safeties to come out in the last 10 years. The kid just has had some injury issues, which led the Colts to not re-sign him when he had tore his Achilles. If he could come back from that injury and be half the player that he was touted to be, he'll be a good NFL player. He could have went down as one of the all-time greats barring injury. Dwayne, I do want to ask you a couple things about the game.
But thank you for the question, Jordan.
In reference to Julia's question, I do want to answer. I do want to answer Julia's question a little bit. I know she directed it to you, Julia. The thing that Dwayne didn't mention about the Cowboys being a threat is the Cowboys, like the 49ers, started the season off with 2 road games. Unlike the 49ers, the Cowboys played 2 teams that eventually be in the playoffs. The Bucs is probably the best team in the league, and the Chargers are coming. The Chargers is a threat because of the weapons that they have. So Dallas being 1-1 right now and not even having a home game is big for the Cowboys. They got the softest schedule going forward until week 11. They play no playoff teams from last year except one.
But don't play down to your competition.
But at the end of the day, that's based off of last year's stuff. We're here now, and the Cowboys they're in it like everybody else is in it. They're in contention. It's a bunch of teams. I think the NFC is figuring itself out right now, as well as the AFC. The Cowboys are in a very unique position to be 1-1, and going forward, I think the Cowboy fan base is optimistic and intrigued, as I like to say.
Listen, Mike Nolan, I hope you are really happy in retirement. I hope wherever you are, you're healthy. I hope your family's healthy. I hope you're content. You're a good man, Mike Nolan. But I sure as hell am happy you don't call my defense no more. It just looks different. It just feels different. People are where they're supposed to be. They're lined up. Now, if we could get Mike McCarthy to stop giving so much trust in the Bones fossils, we would be good. And then one last quote before we exit. Quentin feels like he wants to shut it down, and we're about to kick off the Sunday night. Rain Dakota Prescott in the Prescott conference. 1-1 versus 0-2 is a huge difference. Beating good teams on the road means a lot too. It's special. It's a building block. First one of many. Dak's my quarterback, and Dak I trust. Cheers to all. Cheers.
I'll just say that the Cowboys before we close, and it's not a Cowboy show. It's a team that we root for, and it's our football show. But going forward, I think that I saw something today that I usually don't give the Cowboys credit for, and it's called player development. And some young players on the Cowboys that I just want to give honorable mention to is one guy, Terrence Open Door Steele.
Number
You
78.
played absolutely fabulous compared to last year.
Fabulous.
You worked on your game
Against Joey Bosa.
and it's another guy who's been to the Cowboys. This is his third season, I think, or either fourth, where he wreaked havoc on one of the best linemen in football, and that was Dorrance Armstrong. I mean,
No. For me today, I got 4 unsung heroes. Guys you won't hear anybody say anything about. Folks, it's time for me and my fellow Cowboy fans to stop bad-mouthing Connor Williams. The man is a solid left guard in the NFL. Okay? That's one. Terrence Open Door Still, kudos. That's 2. Carlos Watkins.
a man who many said after the draft wouldn't even make the team.
That's 3. I'm going to give you 5. Osa Adigizua. Young man was getting held all night, man. He was getting held all night, folks. Okay? And last, certainly not least, when the Cowboys signed him, I thought it was just for special teams. Javon Curse was amazing. Amazing. And he should have had a pick.
That's 20 seconds in your program, folks. Number 27 in your program. And it's funny. The funny thing about Curse is I'm gonna ask Dwayne something. What position do he play, Dwayne? He's been playing.
Got my tongue.
Today,
got my tongue because 1 minute he in the box, the next minute he back in coverage. They blitzed him off the edge today. He got to play, man. He got to play. Donovan Wilson, you're on the clock. Hey, our other pickup, Kazee, big interception in the end zone, backbreaker. Canu Neal in there playing linebacker in coverage. Just get Anthony Brown off the field, please.
With that, we close
And I'll
the show.
be happy.
Thanks you guys for joining us. And remember, check out our review show every Sunday morning, either 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Our preview show.
Our preview show. Check it out. Preview show is real interesting. And then we come back and do our review show at 7:30, 7:40.
You can feel free to come in and tell us where we were very wrong on the morning. I was wrong on the Dolphins.
Yeah, anybody want to join our preview show? If you're available Sunday mornings and like to come on, just make sure you have a great connection. Because if your connection is a little janky, I will just drop you. I won't even waste my time.
Hey, listen.
But if you want to come on, you could come on and be your fanboy, but just know the league. Welcome to join us.
I got one confession to make before we exit. I hung up 3 times on Quentin today. I'm sorry. I'm going to get better. But I hung up 3 times on him. I vow to be better.
With that, have a safe week and take care.